someone asked me, what's the worst place in Australia you've been? And by the way, people have been shooting me a lot of questions and topics and stuff to talk about on the podcast because I don't do anything with my life. I edit videos and I hang out with Meg. We watch stuff on Netflix and we don't leave the house because we can't. Cool. So yeah, one of the questions was, what's the worst place in Australia I've been to? Now, this is a question that I get asked a lot because I go to a lot of places and I don't have an answer for you. Like a definitive, this place sucks nuts and here's why. There's your classics, because every place sucks for a different reason. I personally enjoy the places that suck. So like a place that probably pretty known that sucks, a place called Coober Pedy. It's in the middle of Australia, or is it Coober Pedy? I don't know. I've been there like once or twice, I think. Once? I don't know, maybe twice. It's a town that's underground. I was about to say underwater. It's not Atlantis. We don't have Atlantis in the middle of our fucking desert. It's just like an underwater town. No, there's not even a puddle. So it's like it's so hot there that people actually live underneath the ground, like kind of in caves. Think like Tatooine from Star Wars or Jakku, or the Sahara if you're not a nerd. Full on like red desert, very hot, like 40-degree heat. And yeah, that's probably the worst place I've been to, I guess, on paper, because there's quite literally nothing to do there. But at the same time, the novelty of sleeping underground. We went there for a school trip once on the Central Australia trip in year 11, and we're sleeping in a cave on like a school trip. That is next level good. Like, fuck hotels, man. Put me in a cave any day of the week for the novelty aspect alone. Not for more than one night, but one night in a cave, great fun. So I would say I love a shithole. Kind of why I liked a lot of the places on the regional town. There were some places that just didn't do it for me, and I don't want to offend anyone because the shows were all great and all the people that came to the shows were very nice, but Bundaberg, a real fucking hole. Like a dump of a place. I don't know why you'd live there. A lot of young people move, and I know why. Pretty much if you say more than 3 cars in a 1-block radius that have neon on the back of their car and then kangaroo bowls hanging from the tow bar, leave that place. That place is not a good area. It's full of bad people with terrible taste in rear parts of their car. And also life. Because if you think that teabagging, speed humps, and roadkill is a funny thing to do while you're driving along in your Hilux, think again. The meth has got to your head, and you should cease. So yeah, Bundaberg, definite hole. Too much people doing up shittiness and pulsars for my liking. And I don't want this to come across as regional town bashing, okay? And if you're from a regional town and getting a little bit cut up right now, I don't do heroin. I don't have balls in the back of my car. Firstly, are you really from that town? Maybe you should leave. Sounds like you have standards. Secondly, don't worry. I'm about to go hard on maybe 30% of the people who listen to this podcast. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Sydney fucking sucks so hard. Sydney is probably the worst place in Australia. To answer that question, now, hear me out. It's an okay place for entertainment. Getting around there, terrible. Food stuff, fine, whatever. It's a city. It's Australia's biggest city. The harbour, don't get me wrong. If you're a tourist, come visit. Bridge, Opera House, woohoo! It's like Stacey's mum, dude. Sydney's got it going on. But living there, I've never spent a lot of time there. I've maybe spent probably 2 whole months of my life there. If you add up every time I've ever been to Sydney, I mainly just go to do my shows, do gigs there occasionally, and look, I know it well enough, okay? Like I have an Opal card in my wallet, which is like their public transport card, okay? I know it well enough to know why I hate it and that I'll probably never change my mind on that. And a lot of people from Sydney know it sucks as well. They come to Melbourne and they go like, oh, this is better. And I'm not like that pro Melbourne either. I think Melbourne's great, but you know, it's still a city. But yeah, Sydney sucks ass. I cannot explain why. If you're not from Australia, you won't understand why. You'll be like, what do you mean? This is what I see on the postcard. It's like, yeah, and then go into the city. It sucks nuts. But that's just my opinion. Some people probably love it. It's very expensive. It's full of douchebags, a lot of crime. But that's like every place, I guess. So that to answer your question, my least favorite place like probably might be Sydney. I fucking hated I don't want to bash Adelaide. Like Adelaide sucks, I guess, but Adelaide's cute. There's not a lot to do there. I love Perth. I love Newcastle. That's the thing. I don't want to be too negative. There's also so many places in Australia I love. I love Newcastle. I love Perth. I love most beach places. I thought Mackay was really good, like the beach and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, that's my answer for that person who asked.
Somewhere